JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Trader Sea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 12th of November 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we go ahead, just a quick reminder that tomorrow there won't be any Traders Espresso nor Tea Time videos, so we will resume on Monday, guys. So basically just to kind of, like I said, a quick update that there won't be any videos tomorrow. So yep, we will resume on Monday. So before we jump into the charts, quick update on basically with our quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank's website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So let's see what's happening here with the markets. Now the index, you can see the German index is drifting lower. So this morning I talked about this, and basically this whole week I was talking about this idea where even if we see a bit of a decline here, that's still fine as long as the price stays above this downside line taken from the high of the 3rd of September. And if it does that, then we could see a nice rebound and a push higher. So basically, in other words, something like this here could be possible. Keep this in mind. But if this downside line gets broken and the price falls below the 12,842 territory, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for the sellers. So yep, something for you guys to keep in mind and something to keep an eye on tomorrow as well. So keep your eyes on that one. Dow Jones Industrial Average now, the index yesterday closed slightly in the red. So basically some of the US equities were still in the positive zone, but Dow Jones Industrial Average was seen drifting lower. And if we look at the cash index right now as well, we'll see that the price is currently sitting at around 29,181 territory. So basically, it's kind of coming back to that this level right here, or actually it's already slightly below this previous all-time high that we reached in September, which is around the 29,199 zone. So we'll keep a close eye today on it, because if it continues to drift below it, then maybe the index is ready to go for a bit of a correction here, a further correction lower towards the this downside line, or to test it from above this time, and then we'll take it from there. But if of course if the price falls below this area, below this downside line, then well, I mean, much lower levels could be met. For now, we are aiming for some for now what we're going to do is, like I said, we'll keep an eye on this 29,199 level, because if it provides somehow support today, and if we see the daily candle remaining above this area, then well, I mean, maybe the bulls could step in back again here and drive this one higher. So again, for now, be very careful. If you're a little bit more on the cautious side in terms of the upside, then wait for a push at least above the 29,568 territory right here, and then aim for some higher levels. Oh, do apologize, guys, that wasn't previous all-time high. There we go. This is okay, this is my bad on this one. So the previous all-time high was at 29,568 zones. So that changes the game a little bit. So I need to kind of scroll back in a little bit. So a huge mistake for me, guys. Okay, so the previous all-time high was here on February. We did overshoot this level on Monday, and yesterday, the price got held by this previous all-time high. And now, to be honest, well, in a way, if you want to still be on a safe side, still we're looking for this push above this previous all-time high near the 29,568 territory. But if you're looking for some downside, to be honest, it doesn't really change much the outlook, because still I would like to see a drop below this September high near the 29,199 level, and then yes, we could consider a bit of a decline here. So to be honest, yes, wrong all-time high, previous all-time high, but still the outlook remains the same. Jumping into DXY very quickly, still keeping an eye on this one, because you can see that this morning I said to you guys that if we get a nice strong push above the 21-day EMA here shown as the yellow line, then yes, we'll consider some higher levels, but we're not getting that. We didn't really move much here. And to be honest, we'll still remain a little bit on the neutral side, maybe, because again, if you want to aim for some higher levels, yes, at least a push above the 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line, would be needed. And then, of course, we'll aim for this 93.55 level. In terms of the downside, I would need to still see a drop below the 92.47 zone right here. Sorry, 92.24 level right here, and in order to aim for some lower areas. Gold is pushing higher. However, it still remains below this downside line taken from the high of the 18th of August, and in a way, if it struggles to overcome this overcomes this downside line, or even better, if it struggles to push above the 1911 territory, then well, the downside scenario could still be on the table. For now, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. However, in order to aim for some downside, I would like to see a drop below the 1860 level first. US oil, WTI oil, and here let me just double check the data if we received that. So okay, so we still have not received the oil related data from the US, but however, we did get the figures, the inflation figures from the US. So I mean, those came out worse than expected, but I mean, well, I mean, for now it's not looking good probably here for the US dollar. But again, I'll pick up on that one. So first, of course, WTI oil is trading nicely above this 41.46 level, and this is what I talked about this morning, that if the price continues to stay above this, I mean, we did have a brief drop here, but as you can see, the bulls kind of pushed the price back above this area very quickly. So in a way, all this is kind of leading to the fact that there could be still some more upside, and especially if the US dollar here starts declining, then well, I mean, this could give a boost to WTI oil and gold, and yep, we could see these higher levels being met. My next target is, as I mentioned this morning, my next target is the 43.75 level. Jumping into Bitcoin very quickly here. So Bitcoin is making its way nicely here to the upside. Also this morning I mentioned this idea, and basically it's pushing above this 15,888 level. For now, I'm gonna keep an eye on this barrier, because if we see the daily candle remaining above this area, then well, higher levels could be met, and we could start looking at levels that we saw here back in January of 2018, and then we'll take it from there. So of course, one of the levels that I'm keeping an eye on here is this one, near the 17,178 territory, or we can actually, if I'll zoom in here a little bit, maybe I might capture this little area right here. There we go. So that's 17,252 level, and that's marked by the highest point of January of 2018. So good potential target, but for that we need to see this daily candle at least remaining above this 15,888 level today. So let's see how this is going to play out. Another positive here is the fact that the pair, the crypto is still trading above this steep upside support line taken from the low of the 3rd of November, and in a way, as long as it remains intact, then there's still a good chance for this one to climb higher. AUDJPY drifting a little bit lower, but don't get me wrong, the day is not finished. It is drifting. Yes, it is drifting to the downside. It may even continue drifting today lower, but if still this daily candle remains above this area, above the 76.52 territory, then well, the bulls could step in here and drive this one higher. The bulls could also step in near this steep upside line, and basically if the pair drifts lower, tests this upside line, but fails to move below this upside line, then, well, I mean, something like this here could be possible. We could see a nice recovery and a push higher. So again, for now, be very careful, be very cautious, and let's see how all this is going to play out. But for now, we're still not losing that positivity. But of course, if it breaks this upside line, then yep, all the positivity might run out of the building, because and especially if the rate starts dropping below this 75.48 hurdle right here. Now USDCAD, here the pair is pumping higher, and yep, we can see that a nice move here above the 1.3081 territory. I spoke about this level recently, and basically what I was saying, that if we get a nice pop above it, then yes, my next target is the 21-day EMA or this 1.3178 territory right here, which, as you can see, previously acted as a good area of resistance, then support, and then resistance again. So now it could take the role of resistance one more time. But again, like I said, let's be very careful. It would still need to overcome the 21-day EMA in order to reach this area. So be very careful on that one. If by any chance the price starts falling back below the 1.3081 territory here, then well, maybe we could consider a move towards the 1.2995 level right here. Again, a break of which could of course open the door towards lower areas. GBPCHF, now this one is quite interesting. I've talked about this one recently, and basically what I was saying, that initially I'm going to be targeting the 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci, hit that, and then if that gets broken, my next target is the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, which almost coincides with the 200-day EMA here on this daily chart. And look at this beautiful move. I mean, every level got reached. I mean, okay, fractionally we didn't reach, we just fractionally didn't reach this level right here, but to be honest, we'll take that. It's a fantastic result, and to be honest, for now, all eyes are going to be still on this 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, because if it continues to provide decent support, and together with this 200-day EMA, then we could see something like this happening. If it starts dropping below it, then let's start moving towards this upside support line taken from the low of this 14th of September. EURCHF, now here the pair is drifting lower. It's for now, to be honest, this is seen as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying, because look at this. I mean, it depends how this is going to form, but in a way this could potentially form a possible bullish flag, because we have a nice bowl here, and now we're seeing this little correction, so which is kind of forming this little flag, potential flag, of course. So keep this idea in your heads, but even so, still, either way, we would still need to see a push above this barrier, above the 1.0825 level here, in order to get a little bit excited with higher levels. But still, we have this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of June. So if you want to be very careful and very cautious, well, at least wait for a break of this downside line and then start aiming for some higher levels. And finally, EURUSD. So this pair is, well, this is very tricky. So this is what I talked about, guys. Basically, it drifted lower initially, but it kind of started recovering. It pushed higher, and now the big question here is, can it actually get back above this 1.1787 level? I talked about this one, and one of the facts that here it rebounded from its from the 21-day EMA, so that's great news. But can the bulls keep this pair above this area? Well, let's see about that. I mean, again, we still have the full US session to go through, so be very careful with that one. And of course, for now, probably I would probably suggest to stay careful and observe today's candle, because it's very close to kind of also reversing sharply. It could do that. It could reverse sharply to the downside and drop below the 21-day EMA, and if so, then yep, we'll aim for these lower levels. But if it manages to climb back and stay above this 1.1787 territory, then, well, I mean, we could potentially consider a move higher. However, I would my preference here for the upside is still this 1.1880 level, so I'm keeping an eye on that one. So guys, I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Just a quick reminder again that there's not going to be any video tomorrow, neither espresso nor tea time. I'll resume on Monday, and I hope you're going to join me on Monday, guys. I'll be waiting here for waiting here for you guys. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic trading day tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and like I said, I'll see you on Monday at my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, have a wonderful evening today as well. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.